Hey, you guys remember this 83 Yamaha Virago 750? Yeah, I know it's been since May since this thing has even seen daylight. Looks like I need to put a little air in the back tire. It's time to keep moving on this sawmill project. It's been an albatross around my neck for probably the last year and a half. Just stymied in my brain about getting this thing done, and I need to keep moving forward. I just need to keep pushing on through on some of these projects that have been long-term lingering projects for my own mental health. I've got 2 people coming today to sell off a couple different projects I have around here. I probably haven't talked about those horde projects, but stuff's got to go, man. I'm tired of tripping over stuff. I need to simplify the stuff, because the stuff that I own is starting to own me. What are we doing on this today? The plan is to pull the starter. The plan is to adjust the valves, do a compression check, and then take it for a rip up and down the street. Well, probably the first thing I'm gonna do is put some air in the tire, but take it for a rip up and down the street. Looks like there's fluid on the front tire. I have a leaking caliper, probably. That's lovely. Whatever. I'm gonna pull it out here in the daylight and let's take a look at this thing. Okay, so I had to bring in reserves. I brought in an extra pair of shoes. Yeah, I need to push through these projects, so made a phone call. Got an extra pair of shoes out here to help me. Shop dummy's going to be out here helping me work. I got the starter pulled, and this nose clip was off, so I think that's kind of why we were having marble. So I'm going to see. I got him pulling off that side of the case, the engine case, so I could figure out what's going on with the starter. Watch that thing work. I had to pull this side of the engine case off, and I'll show you why. So it looks like at some point in time, get a rag, I'm making a mess of things. Somebody dropped the bike, and the right foot peg drove itself into the side of the case. There is a slight crack there, and it does just dribble oil. But what's more noticeable is you'll see here there's some scraping when you engage the clutch, or disengage the clutch, excuse me. It draws that clutch basket out towards here, and it's rubbing against here. So it's nothing a few carefully placed wax with a ball peen hammer couldn't bring out. And I brought it, I don't know if you could see, I brought the contour out exactly right. And then I just right now just hit it with the wire wheel to shine it up. I'm going to there's a little divot right there, but you know what, I'm going to let some stuff go. It was just barely touching that knob in there, and I just whooped the hell out of it, so I imagine we're going to be just fine. I'm going to rub it down with some rubbing alcohol, put a little JB weld on there, and call that one good. Alright, so we've got that side plate back on. I just used some perma gasket. I'm not going to go out and buy a new gasket on this one. Got the patch, and we got this side of the engine back together. Took a look at how the starter gear, why the starter gear hangs up. Turns out that's just crappy design. I'd had a handful of people tell me that had these bikes. They left comments where they said, hey man, that's just the way the starter is. It is what it is. And well, I wanted to look for myself, and sure enough, yeah, it's just a goofy design. The little brake clips they have in there, and how that lead gear retracts, just tends to hang up on the flywheel. Okay, so the front cylinder had 150 psi, the back one had a $1.25, and I shot a squirt of oil in there, and it brought it up to about 135, between 135 and 140. So it has been sitting a while. I don't know how well that rear cylinder is oiled right now. The increase in compression when you shoot oil into a cylinder is indicative of worn piston rings. I was thinking with all that, the putt-putting it was making before, that maybe one of the exhaust valve in that back cylinder might be not sealing that well or sticking a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this back together, put some fuel in the tank, going to fire it up, and then just rev it up quite a bit. Maybe go do a couple hole shots in the front of the house and see if we can clear it out. Or we'll blow it up. We'll see. Hang on. I already got the tank on. I threw about a gallon of fuel in it. I've got it hooked up to the battery. Let's push the button and see what happens. Put spark plugs back in. That we did do.
Choke on. Choke is on. That's right. Go for it.
See what kind of trouble we can get into. Not 10,000, maybe 7,000 RPM. Don't climb over the truck. Ooh. All right, let's put it away before the cops come.